Minds up, guys. Hey, world. It's your girl, Takiyah Diamond, coming to you live and direct, bringing you that wisdom words of consciousness, dropping them jewels on you, making sure that you understand things in a whole nother level, because our world is evolving. And if our world is evolving, that means you are too, right? So I've come as an author, personal development author, speaker, teacher, leader, life and mindset coach, and many other things that follow that I do to give back, to actually help other people overcome the obstacles that keep them stuck, that keep them in this box that says they really aren't who they came here to become. But tonight, yes, you guys know I am doing 5 days of relationship talk, and I don't usually do this talk no more because it's just a whole nother vibration. But I've decided, you know what? I can do relationship talk. Why not do relationship talk and educate you guys on a whole nother level so you can even understand why you even think the way that you think about relationships. You know what I mean? Just in a whole nother way. How the body works, how the mind works when it even comes to relationships, and so much more. So this week is going to be relationships. Next week is going to be 5 days of money talk. All right. And then we just going to keep it going. We're going to keep it going. We're going to keep it flowing. And we're going to make it happen. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just grateful that, you have chosen to be here with me. If this is your first time tuning in, then, I'm so grateful and thankful for your presence. And please come back again. All right. So let's go ahead and get down to the get down, right? Let's get down to the get down. What did we all come here for anyway? Yes. So we came here tonight because I want to know why you think because we've all been there, whether you don't chase no more or not is a whole nother story. But why do we chase? Why do we chase what we can't have or what's somewhat there? Why is that? Why is it when the perfect person, or seemingly to be perfect person, comes along, are we still chasing that one when the one that would change your whole life is right there in your face? I'm broken down. I don't even know that. Tell me why. Why in the world? What causes us to be so insane to really chase somebody, something that is not available to you? Whether the person is not available to you emotionally, whether the person does not make themselves available to you physically, and especially if they're not stimulating your mental, then why are you still running after this person? What is it that's causing you to run after this person? Well, we're going to talk about that tonight, and I am going to review your answers in the afterlife Q&A, and we are going to get down to the nitty-gritty about the beliefs you've been holding on to and why you've been feeling like, why am I chasing this person, right? Or even just watching your friends and watching your family, just watching other people chase people that and they know too, and are in big denial that those people are just not into them the way that they're into you, or you're into them, or however it want to be said. Y'all get the point, right? So let's be frank here. Most of us have experienced a burning desire for somebody, right? For that one person who you just couldn't seem to get your hands on, that you just couldn't seem to get them to see what it was that you was trying to get them to see. No matter how many cute skirts you put on, or how many times you changed your hair, or no matter how many new blazers you bought, or that new gold chain and that diamond watch, that you still did not get their attention. And it's like you just cannot have them. You've done everything to try to get their attention, right? And maybe it's because the person is taken, or maybe it's because the person is just hard to get to, or maybe the person simply doesn't reciprocate the same feelings that you might be reciprocating. So like maybe it really is already a relationship established, but you're the person who's just giving your all, but the other person is like, I ain't got time for that. Bye, Felicia, right? Seriously though, right? So the fact is, guys, that despite all of the rejection, okay, despite all of those funky feelings that we be feeling when these people are doing these things that we really want to get their attention, no matter how much they reject us, we want them so much more. But why is that? What's causing you to really want that person just so much more? And I want you to think about it, right? Because then it's all like the important questions, like why? Like, why is it that you can't have that person? And why is it that you want that person so much more? You know what I mean? And why do you actually overlook the person who's more than suitable, who would actually fit you perfectly, but you don't want that person? You know what I mean? They could be clean cut. If it's a guy, she could be smart, intelligent, beautiful, whatever, right? She could be perfect, but you don't want her. You want the one that you can't have, the one that's already with somebody, or the one who just flirts with you just because she could, but you're never going to get it. You know what I'm saying? So the answer really boils down to the dynamics of the human mind. Y'all know I always got to bring it back to the mind, because mind is everything, y'all. Mind is everything. So always have to bring it back there, because that's where the core of these beliefs and these behaviors are all coming from. Okay, so that's what the answer boils down to. It boils down to how our minds operate when it actually comes to relationships, right? And so I'm going to share with you guys right now 4 different principles that actually play a part as to why we actually chase these people who really just don't want to be caught at the end of the day. All right. So number 1 is vanity. All right. Now, I'm not talking about the vanity like, oh, it's all about me. I look good. Don't this dress look hot? Did you see my hair? Yeah, my makeup was on fleek. No. That is not the vein that I'm talking about. Okay? So the type of vein that I'm actually talking about, it actually pertains to your own self-image. Okay? The self-image that you have of yourself, and honestly, instinctively, it's actually tied to your self-worth. So your self-image is attached to your self-worth. How you see yourself is how you project the value of yourself. Okay, so like I said, we are going deeper. I'm going to explain this to you on a much deeper level and a much core level, rather than what reality TV might show you about why you're chasing somebody. This is so much deeper. Okay, so the truth is, guys, that we as humans, at the end of the day, we're vain by nature. Okay, that's just the truth of it. We all like to feel special. We all like attention. We like to feel that we're attractive. We like to feel like we're important. We like to feel needed in some way. And when people make us feel these things, what happens? It boosts up our pride. We feel more confident, and our self-image begins to glow because you feel like, people are honoring you, or people are respecting you, and they're showing you this love, or whatever the case might be, right? So at the end of the day, nobody wants to feel powerless. You know what I mean? Nobody wants to feel unattractive. Nobody wants to feel, unable to actually affect people, or, have an influence on people. Nobody wants to feel like that, and if somebody really does want to feel like that, maybe they just they're not human. They're operating out of that other part of themselves completely, where they're just emotionalists, more than likely because they've been hurt so many times they just don't even have any emotions, right? So the key here, guys, right, is it's the same way when let's say, you're carrying this burning desire for somebody, right? That certain person that you just can't get your hands on. You just can't get them to see you the way that you want them to see you, right? You can't win them over. You're annoyed, you're aggravated, you're done at this point, right? And so the fact that you want him, or the fact that you want her, but you can't actually have him or her, it basically takes like this low blow on your ego, on your personal vanity. Now, mind you guys, remember what I said. I'm not talking about the vanity, oh, I look good. I'm talking about your personal vanity. So your personal vanity is actually your self-worth, right? And your self-image, all right? Which is completely different from, that other egoic self that's just, I'm this, I'm that, all right? We're talking about how you feel about you, what you think about you, okay? So when someone is rejecting you, it actually makes you, or maybe they're not doing what it is that you feel like they should be doing with you, or for you, or coming to you, or whatever the case may be, right? When it's like that, what ends up happening is that person, they attack your personal vanity. And so what happens is, once your personal vanity is wounded, it becomes totally scarred, right? Your mind, pay attention, guys, because like I said, this is on a deeper level. So what happens is your mind will actually try to get your own sense of self-worth back up to what it was. So once you take that low blow of that person making you feel like you can't have them, by default, the mind starts trying to find a way to boost that personal vanity back up, to boost back up that personal self-esteem, or that personal self-image, that personal self-worth. Okay, so when the mind begins to do that, it does that by making you want to obtain the very thing that's causing all the damage to begin with, which is you going after the person that you can't have. So while all of this time you might have been blaming yourself, or it's me, blah, 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 you gotta understand that this is the way that your mind automatically works. So if you're not retraining your brain, then this is the way that it's gonna operate when it comes to not being able to have somebody that you really want, or you feel like means the world to you, but you don't mean that much to them, right? So after you go after this thing that you can't have, sometimes people begin chasing just too aggressively. They start going real hard, like, like bump that. I'm going to get my self-worth back up. And so the mind makes you chase back after that person, because now you need to prove a point. You know what I'm saying? You feel like, no, he has to see me. She has to see me. She has to understand how I feel about it. He has to understand that I'm the right person for him. But don't you know, the more you keep trying to get the person to see you the way that you want to see them, You want them to see you. You actually push them away. And that's like 99.9% of the time. Very rarely do people stick around in it, but for the most point, they feel like, oh my God, he's too clingy, or she's too clingy, or oh my God, he wants all my attention, she wants all my attention, whatever. Okay? And then it makes them back up. And then guess what? It wounds your personal vanity again. After you keep chasing them and they run further away from you, now you still going hard and really trying to get them to get you to understand that you're the one, right? And it makes you want that person even more. So that's your vanity. Vanity is the first thing. And this is not really in no order that I'm giving it to you. It's just, 4 things that I recognize that has a huge influence on it. Okay. The second thing is scarcity. Yep. Scarcity, right? The way that our mind works, guys, is that our mind works on things without us even realizing it, right? And there's forces at work, that determine the value of certain things or a certain someone, right? And all of these forces, they're actually called, which you've heard it before, supply and demand. And don't get it twisted. I know it's like, how is she identifying this with economics, right? The principle of economics at that, supply and demand, right? So what I want to do is I want to explain to you why. I want to explain to you why the way that the mind works with this particular thing is really from a economic standpoint, because I promise you, by the time I finish breaking this down for you within the next 5 to 6 minutes, you're going to have a completely different level of understanding of supply and demand when it comes to relationships, or when it comes to love, or, having things that you can't have. All right. So as I was saying, guys, I know it seems really odd to use that, but, at the end of the day, right, when something is high in demand, but it's low in supply, it seems as if it's more valuable, right? And then something that's low in demand, but high in supply, not too many people really want it. You hear what I'm saying, right? I'm going to say it again. Now I'm going to say it the opposite way, right? Something that's in low demand, meaning not a lot of people really want it, but there's a whole lot of it. I don't know, maybe popcorn. Random, I know. So let's just say, right, it's not really in demand. Everybody in America is not fighting over popcorn or whatever the case may be. But there's a lot of it. If you walk into the store, you can see plenty of popcorn all over the place that you can buy. Curry flavored popcorn, butter flavored popcorn, peppermint flavored popcorn. It's a huge supply of it, right? And because it's such a big supply of it, it's kind of like it's less valuable. It's like, I get it, I don't, right? Now, on the other hand, whereas something is in high demand, but it's not a lot of it, it seems like it's more valuable. So the point that I'm making is, let's say, for instance, I don't know, maybe the new Jordans came out, but there's only a limited supply of these Jordans. There's not a whole lot of them. So if you don't hurry up and get to these Jordans, you're not going to have them, right? So the thing that seemed like it was less in supply appeared to be more valuable, right? And it's the same true as humans, guys, okay? So when we place value on objects, when we place value on experiences, and especially when we place value on people. So I'm going to give you a good example using people, right? If a person's availability is restricted, right, and we want that person's time, whether the person, we want their time by them wanting them to text us back, wanting them to call us on the phone, seeing them in person, spending time with us in person, whatever, right? We have a demand for that person. We want them. This, I need you. I want you here with me. I need you to respond to me. I want you to respond to me, or whatever the case may be, right? This makes the person more valuable to you, right? Which in turn makes the person more, because we see that person as high in value. Why? Because there's only one of them. There's not 10 of the same person out here in the world. So it's not like you could just be like, okay, forget him. Let me just go find the other one that's exactly like him, right? Or exactly like her. It's always something that's going to be different about them in some way, some type of flaw or some type of beauty aspect, possibly, that could be very different from the other person, right? So because this makes the person more valuable to us, we do everything that we could to get it. That's what you do, because it's like it's only one of them, so you feel like that person is so much more valuable, so you go harder to get the person, because you feel like that person is that's all you could get your hands on. So you placed a value on that person, not even valuing yourself, but that's a whole nother story. Okay, so you place the value and you place that person on a pedestal, right? So the truth of it, really, in those cases where we actually desire somebody, the more restricted or scarce that person is to us, the more we want that person. Okay, and it's basically the essence why those who are harder to get could be more attractive to those who are easier to get. The one who's available, she's free, she doesn't have any boyfriends, or he's free, he doesn't have any drama, he doesn't have any kids, you understand what I'm saying? All right, so that is truthfully, guys, like the root core as to why, those people who are harder to get are more attracted to other people. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when you in a relationship and you're not limited, and you're limited, everybody come out the woodworks. People that you've been wanting to talk to, nobody was even thinking about you until you changed your relationship status to engaged or married or taken or whatever. The moment you changed your relationship status to married, out of the woodworks came all of these people expressing their love for you, their feelings for you. Oh, boo, I always wanted to be with you. Am I lying? I'm not lying. Y'all know I'm telling the truth. You know I'm telling you the truth. That's the way that it is. Even like if you break up in a relationship with somebody, as long as that person wasn't with nobody, you was cool. Okay, he dating, all right, whatever. He's single, whatever. I'm single, whatever, right? And then as soon as that person get in a relationship with somebody else, now all your feelings come out. Baby, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that to you, baby. Especially guys. When she decide that she has had enough and she move on, and the next man come in and take over what you thought was your territory that will always be there, honey child, please, okay? I already know, So, all right, let's jump down to number 3, and then we just got one more after this, all right? So the third reason that we chase people that we can't have is because of desire. All right? Desire. And let me tell you guys, like, desire is double-edged, right? We desire others according to our personal taste, our personal experiences, our sexual preferences. But desire is also a social element, and we don't really identify it a whole lot with the social element of it. Okay, so we tend to more so like desire those people who are desired by others, which is kind of like what I was saying, and I know I jumped the gun a little bit, but you know, those people who are, everybody wants them. So now you want them because everybody else wants them, right? Or as long as you was by yourself, nobody wanted you. But the moment that you got with somebody, now everybody wants you, right? The same is true, guys, of objects and things. For example, if look at this example, and I'm gonna prove to you what I'm saying, right? If we going out to a restaurant, right? Let's say we in an area, we looking for something to eat. Me and you, we out, we chilling, right? We go, we on the strip. It's a bunch of restaurants out there. If we pass a restaurant that got like 3 people in it, and then we look across the street and we see in this restaurant, it's like 30 people in it, and it's jumping. You see everybody in there feeling good, happy, live, smiling. And then you see in this other place where it's only like 3 people and everybody look all down and out, or whatever the case may be. Where are you going to go? We're going to go to the place that got people. The only time, but why? Because we're going to think the food must be better there, because if everybody had an option to go across the street to the other place where there's only 3 people at, why didn't they go over there? They didn't go over there because it wasn't what the majority did. It's the way that the mind works, guys. Like the mind, I know y'all hear the term, like, the mind plays tricks on you. You know what I'm saying? And truthfully, it's like that's what this ends up being. Okay, so I want to call it like it's social proof. It's social proof because we want to go where everybody else thinks that it's all good, right? That's what we want to do, right? If we see a lot of people doing the same thing, then it grabs our interest. We become entertained by it. We become interested. We want to know what's going on in there or whatever, We find it intriguing. It's just like you see a whole bunch of people standing outside of a building and you see nobody on the sidewalk. Instantly, your head is going to turn where all of the people at. It's your natural instinct, the way your brain works, and you probably never thought about it like that before. But automatically, your brain just tell you to look. Or even when it's an accident on a highway, how many times it could be a little old accident? It might not even be an accident. Maybe somebody just pulled over and the traffic be backed up from here to God knows where. And when you get up there, you be like, are you serious? Like, I'm late for my thing because everybody's turning their head and slowing down and being nosy. You get what I'm saying? Because it's more like the majority rule. So let me not get off topic here, right? But if someone else wants what we want, what it does, guys, is it triggers our natural competitiveness, okay? In order to beat somebody else to the punch. And it goes back and forth between vanity and scarcity, okay? It goes back and forth between the two, right? So it's like, being with that one desirable person is going to boost your self-esteem, right? It feeds your personal vanity, and then the desire to be in a favorable place with that person that you perceive as this high value is gonna make you feel good. And even if it doesn't really, really work out, you just want to know that you made the kill, right? That you went for it and you got it. Even if you don't keep it, you just want to know that you was able to get it. And that happens a lot of times with the guys, you know. They chase this girl for a long time and she finally gives in, and then once he get it, he's like, all right, done. It's not even because he just wants to be like that. It's just like the way his brain is wired. Now, it doesn't mean that he can't change his mind so that he's not entertained in that way. Some men are a lot more mature than others, and they understand. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, it could go either way. All right. And then the last thing, guys, is over investment. You feel like you put too much time in. You put too much time in. What was that song that Beyonce sang? And I think she was talking about Rihanna or whatever. Bring the alarm. I've been through this too long. And I be damned if I see another chick on your arm, right? She gonna be rocking the Kenneth Cole if I let you go. In the house in a robe if I let you go. She gonna take everything I own if I let you go, right? That was her cry out, like, oh my God, I know this dude is not right for me. I know he doing me dirty, but if I let him go, she's gonna get everything that I had. Everything that I worked hard for, all of the years that I put in this relationship, the hurt, the pain, the makeups, the breakups, all of that, she's going to get that. So no, I'm not letting it go. Y'all know exactly what I'm talking about, right? So one of the principles by which our minds work, guys, is, how do I say this? Reciprocity, right? If we do something for someone, we unconsciously expect that the person is supposed to do something for us in return. Automatically, like without thinking about it, we just think that it's supposed to be that way. If somebody tells you, oh, I love you, you expect them to say, I love you back. You don't always get that I love you back. And then what happens? You feel some kind of way when they don't say I love you back. But technically speaking, they don't have to say I love you back. That I love you should have came from you and from your heart without you having your hands open, expecting something back. But because the way that your mind is wired and your brain operates, it is opening its hand to receive back what it gave out exactly, or at least close to it, or something similar. It's just like if you buy lunch for somebody at your job, you expected that when you're hungry, that they're going to buy you lunch too. That they're going to look out for you too. It's just an automatic thing, all right? And we unconsciously have that expectation. That's the part that I need you to get so that you can link with what I'm saying to you guys with your mind. Because this all meets mindset when it comes to love, when it comes to relationships, when it comes to money, when it comes to whatever. Your success, your dreams, it's all your mindset. All of it. How your brain is wired and what has to be changed, what has to be shifted from it in order for you to shift from the stuff that you keep seeing that you don't want to continue to see. Right? So I think as I was saying before, right? When we invest in time, when we invest our time in somebody, we unconsciously expect for them to return that time to us. Right? We expect for them to make time to spend time with us because what? We made time to spend time with them, but why aren't they opening the door to do what you did? Because it don't always work that way, right? And then if you add other stuff in the mix of it, like favors, dinners, dates, you taking them out, you guys going on trips that you paid for, or whatever the case may be, then you're going to feel like there's some level of investment. And that person becomes like, I invested in this person, as opposed to, I dated this person, or I had, whatever it was with me and this person, right? The level of investment actually becomes higher if you do all of that stuff along with trying to be in the relationship and make the person feel what they needed to feel while they're in the relationship, whatever the case may be, right? So unconsciously, Again, I want to keep pointing out that word because this is the way that your brain works. This is the way that your mind works. Like it's automatically doing stuff that you haven't been aware of. And so I'm coming at you right now. I'm not even gonna say I'm coming to you. I'm coming at you right now because it gotta change. Or you're gonna keep attracting the same type of people who are not available for you. And you're gonna keep attracting, people who love you when you could give them everything that they want, but they not in a position to even give you half of what you deserve. Not even what you want, what you deserve. You know what I'm saying? So when we invest that time in somebody, that's what we expect. You know what I mean? When we expect that the return from that person is going to be equal or greater. Like I said earlier, right? And so the less that person reciprocates that love or that attention, the more time that you invest in trying to get that person to reciprocate that love or that feeling or do those things for you that you do for them, open the car door for you or cook you dinner, take you out to dinner, buy you a new pair of shoes, buy you some, a new dress, whatever, whatever it might be, right? So put it this way, right? The more we invest, right, and the less that the person reciprocates, for whatever reason, we want that person more because we feel like we've invested a lot, and that's really just the bottom line, and so you don't really want to give up everything that you invested. And I know it's annoying, but I gotta be real with you guys. I gotta be 100 with what I'm about to say. Don't judge me, trust me with what I'm about to tell you, okay? I need you to trust me when I tell you that investing too much time, investing too much energy, investing just way too much period into someone. And y'all could probably finish the sentence for me after that. What after that? What after that, right? If that person is not wanting it, then what do you think all of those things are going to do? They're going to basically kind of be forced to take advantage of what it is that you're giving them. But in the same token, they have no intentions on doing that back for you. So what ends up happening is after it's all said and done, after they wore it for about a day or two or whatever the case may be, boom, you get the hand. They push back. You're getting too close. Right? Why is that? It's the way that that your brain is wired to be that way until you become open to receive love. A love that you deserve. Not chasing after somebody who is not even thinking about you like that. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of energy. It's just a freaking waste. Love yourself more than chasing somebody who is not thinking about you. But that's a whole nother lie. I came here tonight to tell you guys why you do it. And I hope that from this part of the live of our 5-day relationship talk, 5 days of relationship talk that we're going to talk about, we'll talk about other things, as we go along, to where, we could talk about, why we even push away the people who do want you. We're going to talk about that. But today I wanted to at least first address why we even go after people who don't want you like that. Sorry. Hope I didn't hurt your feelings. All right. So let's just be real, guys. You don't want to push them away. Let it be. You know what I mean? So when you want somebody who simply that you can't have, that is not available for you emotionally, mentally, spiritually, physically, or whatever, the best thing to do is just chill, relax, get your life together. All right. Focus on you and focus on being open to somebody who could come in and fulfill the desires of your heart, who could make you feel like the man, the king that you're supposed to be treated, the king of the jungle. you know, and it goes both ways to where you guys should be doing things for one another, loving each other equally, not one person doing the chasing. Y'all should be, you know, courting each other, flirting with each other, playing with each other, not just one person doing all of this, but they not really beat for them. You understand what I'm saying? So step back, okay? Step back and stop investing time in people who don't got time for you. Stop investing in things that don't have a place for you in their life. Okay? I need you to love you more. Okay? Don't invest into that person, no matter how you feel about it, no matter how difficult it might be, no matter how bad it might hurt. You might be like, oh, TK, but I love him. Oh my God, get over it. Okay? It's not worth it. But you are. All right? And so I hope that this live has inspired you. I hope that it has enlightened you. I hope that it has built up your mental strength. I hope that it has opened up your heart to see relationships and why you do things the way that you do things based on this thing going up here. Not even what you thought that it was, right? That was deep, wasn't it? And you know what, guys? It gets deeper. And as we go into our 5 days, and I might even extend to 7, but we're going to stick with the 5 that I said. Going into that, you know, I'm going to take you even deeper on many, many levels when it comes to these areas. You know, I'm going to talk to you about why you keep attracting the wrong person in your life. I'm going to talk to you, you know, I just don't want to get into it. Anyway, we going to talk. That's the best way to put it, right? I'm just going to say we going to talk, all right? We going to talk, all right? So I love you. I love you. I love you guys. And you already know it. Mine's up. I'm checking up my deuces. Make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Make sure that you hit the notifications button so that you can be notified whenever I go live. And y'all know I love to go live. Make sure that, you know, you get yourself a copy of one of my books. Get your life together. 7 things you need to change your life. Wisdom Words of Consciousness. And as you guys know, I am presently working on From Poverty to Profit. Woo! That book is the truth. Even as I'm writing it, I'm learning so much. So I can't even wait to share with you guys the 5 days of money talk. You know, this week is 5 days of relationship talk. And next week we're going to do 5 days of money talk. All right. And so we're going to talk to you about why your money look funny. All right. And how you can change that. But in the meantime, we're going to talk about love. All right. So I love you guys. With that being said, I appreciate you. If you need a book or you need a session or anything like that, make sure you visit my website at www.takiyahdiamond.com. You know, inbox me. Let me know what you think about my lives. Share the live with other people. Invite other people, guys. Go into your inbox and click on that invite button and invite them to come in, you know, when I do go live, so that more people could really understand the truth. Because that's what I'm bringing to you. I'm bringing to you the truth, the root, and the core of what's really causing you to still be stuck. As you guys know, today is 8/8, Lionsgate. You know what? That means the energies are on fleek right now. They're wide open for you to manifest what it is that you want right now. So if you are focusing on what it is that you don't want, guess what's going in the vortex? Everything that you don't want is on its way back to you. But if you are keeping it positive and you are keeping it powerful and you are keeping it purposeful, or you are focusing on the things that you love to do and that you desire to come forth in your life, guess what? That is on its way to you too. All right, guys. Deuces. Minds Up Academy. It's your girl Takiyah Diamond signing off. I love you, and I love you again. Deuces.